I got you. Let it rap real quick. Look. The city eyes, it's time to vote God. My God, a real nigga, cause he wasn't no flaw. Posted on the corner like a watchdog. Family secure, got that shotty in the closet by the mob ball. Fuck what they heard, tell them it's all true. Be cautious, that foundation falls till you fall through. They gon' fall. Look, I keep this shit 50 times 2. Ain't no more heart in this game, I'm John Q. Colder than the avalanche, way above average. Beers taste sweet, told him make me an apple tree. Left us in the valley full of bones, this where hope found. Java, come on, man, dark sands get broke down. Riding through Evanston with Mark Quad, telling me how the crackers turn his childhood to a ghost town. Focus out, nigga, I lay that game down. I feel his pain, cause nothing is the same now. Let my light shine like heaven through a rain cloud. Glock have a fit like my child, no tangent. Try to warn them niggas, we bear arms like tarantulas. Them other niggas rap, I make anthems. I really seen prophets under this banner. Made my enemies bow down on camera. Told my design I wanted black and white like a panda. I'm better than that nigga that sunk dirty to handle. Look, I move like a Brazilian, precious cargo. Spirit ancient, but I got a new semi-auto. Wave that bitch around like where's Wardo. Sleep if they want, I cut through they Z's like I'm Zorro. Pay me for his name, so I gotta keep that steel clutch. Trust me, I'm not what you think. I squeeze till it click like Dorothy when the heels touch. The world got me dumb, I don't feel much. Ride around with Yaradon, just left the state bridge. Looking for a bitch better than Baby's kid. Remember, I dropped Quiet Storm, I've been gone ever since. Still in the field, fuck them niggas on the fence,
Relax. Easy now. Find your happy place.
3, 2, 1, game begin.
It's been a while, fuck a smile, 1969 UPK style. 10 months in the room, now I'm back in my human form. Pleading with the school, just a Jake, seeking room and board. Many boys chilling with the Legion of Doom. I was married to this bitch, had me even jump the broom. Now I cut a cartoon like the GT, Guerrero warfare, bloodshed, much terror, terrier. Better yet, I'll control the flying saucer, we ain't offering. Swine's flesh on the Lord's altar, check the resurrection, lock you. Lost in the saucer, he ain't worth the energy, much less the cough syrup. Prepare to slaughter, put his head on the charger, nigga. We build men and that ain't never gonna falter. Job was the Baptist, but Rabbitsy, malefactor, yeah, I was shot. The only nigga worthy of his access while my neighbors looting lady. The laborers get a penny, but the outcome for the 12 try to serve fit. Now I'm in your city cause the general sent me. Considering a gift, it's been a half a century. 400 years is still a penitentiary for Eric Gardner's life. Ain't he barred for life? Coat, white t-shirt, blue jeans and Nikes. Nowadays you gotta wear skinny jeans to get rights. Not to mention all the pussy they popping to get likes. This is doomsday. Christ ain't interested in your cash. Soon as I get the order, I'm coming to kick your ass. Now you wanna run it back. Big mouth, Billy Bass. Spin the blast with that extra heat. I do it to it expertly. You could call it destiny when really he requested me. Kick against the bricks, you better turn down and turn up. The heaven's all about to burn up. I'm talking about two in the field, but only one is gonna turn up. All you wanted was a rapture, the other one's getting fucked. I'm talking 6 ways from Sunday, the body's gonna erupt. In the midst of this corruption, part of the interruption. Shit, I thought you were reverse surf code. I'm no deduction. We out to try to function, they out of on a luncheon. That's the reason we serve spontaneous combustion. Reverse engineering, what you're hearing is a blueprint. That's why you get caught up in bullshit. I rebuke it, chunking up the deuces will not produce solutions. Woman, thou art loud, now the strong man is loosened. Law out of gag, you were swinging the flag. But it's a coward, it's a hard burden for the ass, we got a classic connection. I bars from the past and like an everlast, punch it back, son. Just do the math. Your reporters on the other side, warriors got a class. Drilling the upper class, turning sinners from swindlers into triggers. When it comes to this fate, we the defenders, we the greatest to exist. Same time I ain't shit. Reverse psychology, I'm logically taking risks. I'm making hits, I'm a UPK hit, man. Leaning like a kickstand in poverty, I'm rich, man. Mobbing through the rich, man. Balling like a fist, man. White knuckle gripping, I'm holding to rigor mortis. One Western, you notice, there's no ulterior motives. Fully focused, fully goaded, with a lotus fire. Get it cracking, love the host, the locusts, devour the POTUS. Not a head of state, is in the data state, fucking with Moses. The people that were chosen, our conversation ain't proven. We was hoping for a miracle, they laid the books open. Now we dosing, no emotion, maybe boasting. So we told forward every threat they posing. IT, I'm writing coded. I'm Wolverine, they be loaded, baby roasted. I'm reloaded. It's a foster paradise for me, but not my man. Corbin, hell is open, enlarging it like an ocean. Now it's overflowing, flooding with judgment, spitting her bubbles, they republics. But we the real Jews, they the copyright infringements. We the real niggas, they the copyright infringements. We the real wetbacks, they copyright infringements. Real savages, they the copyright infringements. Real Seminoles, they copyright infringements. Real West Indians, they copyright infringements. For real Puerto Ricans, they the copyright infringements. Real Nicaraguans, they the copyright infringements. Tucson, Lovato, they the copyright infringements. Colombia, Sunnia, they the copyright infringements. True rulers out of Cuba, they the copyright infringements. We gon' form your child of up the copyright infringements. We gon' form your child of up the copyright infringement. We gon' form your child of up the copyright infringement. We gon' form your child of up the copyright infringements.
With the price of just about everything inflating these days, you may wonder why Mint is deflating.
All right. Let's go ahead, clap it up. Shalom, Israel. We the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana, Precinct Officer 5000 Kasar. This is the Thursday scripture breakdown. If you have any questions online, go ahead and type the questions in. If not, we'll go ahead and get started. I'll give you all 1 second to go ahead and type your questions in. All right. Go ahead and start into tonight's topic. Tonight's topic is the marks of a lost race, part 2. Going into the signs that blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are the Lord's chosen people. That these are the marks of a lost race. The Bible prophecies, the different verses in the Bible. Hold on 1 second. The signs of the children of Israel being the Lord's chosen people here, lost in America. There are certain marks that have been put on us that are identifying us as the true children of Israel. And we're going to go through these different Bible verses that help show and point to the fact that we are indeed the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, and West Indians of North, Central, and South America. The first precept I'll go to, middle precept, Hosea 4 and 6. Let's go ahead and get to it.
The book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children. Once again, the Bible is saying that our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. What knowledge? You can have a lot of knowledge. You can learn about science. You can learn about mathematics. Black people have education. Latinos have education. There's a saying that I believe Black women are the most educated group out of any group. They have the most college degrees out of any group. Yet we are still destroyed. We're lacking a certain type of knowledge, and that's practical knowledge, universal practical knowledge that comes from the Bible. These sisters are going to these universities and getting this education and getting brainwashed by our oppressor, but not learning anything about who they are as an identity. They're not learning anything about what culture Black people are supposed to uphold. So still our people are destroyed. Matter of fact, the knowledge that we get in these institutions help destroy us. Right. Because it's not practical knowledge. The knowledge that we get in these institutions, there was a book, it was called The Destruction of the Black Civilization. No, not that one. What's the other book I'm talking about? The book was called The Miseducation of the Negro. In the beginning of the book, it talks about how the education system that Black people were going through in these universities was pushing them further away from the Black community, making them want to be more like the oppressor, making us want to follow their way even more and becoming jealous and envious of the so-called white man. So can you go ahead and read that again, Uncle Shah? No, so we had Hosea 4 and 6. All right. No sweat. Hosea 4 and 6.
So like the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
Right, like another sign that this is about Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians is who is more destroyed than us? Who lives like we do? No one else does. These heathen nations come to America. They build up their communities. They send money back to their nation. They build up their nation. They have families. They don't gangbang. Like we were in San Francisco a couple of days ago to go and see the General's Rib do a comedy show. And okay, yeah, I thought you was there too. It's like I think you stood down on that arm. You know what I mean? All the brothers, you see one brother, you see them all, man. But we went into the basically the corner store after the show. You know what I mean? And there was a heathen in there. He's playing rap music, but it's got the East Indians rapping over it. And then they talking lightweight gangster stuff. And, you know, we asked him about it. He's like, yeah, he's talking some gangster music. And then we asked him, like, are you a gangster? He's like, nah, I'm not that. You know what I mean? But these heathens will make a gangster song and it's entertainment for them. Right. He's going to own a liquor store. His cousin's going to become an engineer. His uncle is a doctor. His mother is going to go into this business and that business, etc. But we're actually destroyed. We listen to rap music about gangsters and we try to be gangsters. I mean, what you saying that the other day that we look at these rappers like father figures. Mac Dre was like a father figure. I know that's true because I remember one of my partners, you know, right after Mac Dre died, he was like the biggest thing in the Bay Area, man. Anywhere you went, brothers were slapping Mac Dre in the whip. And it was like that first summer or that first year after, I'm riding around one of my partners. I think I said this story before. You might have heard it before. But he grew up without a father. He didn't know who his father was. I, knew my father growing up. But we riding to Mac Dre. He like, man, I love Mac Dre. I'm like, man, I love Mac Dre too. This nigga go. You know what I mean? Bring that song back. Start it over. We riding around going dumb. He was like, yeah, man, I wish he was my father. I'm like, I didn't go there with him. Like, I just got quiet. That shit kind of woke me up. I'm like, damn, I don't love Mac Dre that much. I got a father like, but I felt kind of sad for the brother in my mind. You know what I mean? Like, damn, this is how it feels to not have a father that if you want to check on it. But the man that's Mr. Stupid Doodoo Dumb, the brother that's popping thizzles out of his mind, ecstasy pills. That's what Mac Dre was about, a pimp, a drug dealer, a bank robber. This is the man you want to be your father because you don't have a father. But the reason why black people are in these conditions is because we are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. We're lacking the knowledge of this Bible that will keep a father in your household, right? That will keep your family together. Shalom, sis, Angela, Most High in Christ. That will keep your family together. That's the things that we lack. And keep going.
In the middle of verse 6.
Right.
That thou shalt be no priest to me.
Right.
Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God.
Right.
I will also forget thy children.
Right. We won't be a priest to the Lord. Now, drop that and give me Exodus chapter 19, verse 6. Yeah. Why is he saying that we won't be a priest to the Lord anymore?
The book of Exodus, chapter 19, verse 6. Mm-hmm. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and an holy nation.
Right. So what is the job of the priest? The job of the priest is to teach the people the law and uphold the law.
Right.
They were like the police as well. If someone was breaking the law, who do you go to get justice? You would go to the priest, right? And so we are a nation in a kingdom of priests, meaning we are the law of the whole entire world. This is how we're supposed to be, a nation above all people. Salakia, 1 second. All right. But Salakia, the Lord wanted us to be a nation of kings and priests so we can show these other nations what to do and what not to do, because you leave them to their own understanding, they'll do exactly what they've done to planet Earth. Destroy it. All manner of wickedness is going on in the planet Earth right now because these other nations are in charge. All right, drop that. Give me the book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, verse 22. Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 22. All right, we're gonna reset, get locked in. I think my red about to come get this boy.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, verse 22. Mm-hmm. For my people is foolish. Mm-hmm. They have not known me.
Right. Hold it right there. The Bible is saying his people are foolish. Think how easy it would be if blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians were wise enough to follow the Lord. How easy the planet Earth would be. He said one more time.
For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are
Sadish.
children, and they have none understanding.
Right. Sadish. Let's look up the word Sadish. What does that mean? What is it? Alexa, what is the definition of Satish?
The name Satish means ruler of hundreds, victorious, one who speaks truth, and sunrise.
La, they, you know, Sadish. Let's see. Sadish. The definition of Sadish is drunken, doltish, stupid, boozy, fried, high, blasted. These are other synonyms. Blind. You understand me? Impaired, inebriated, looped, pie-eyed. All of that. So read that again.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, verse 22.
Right.
For my people is foolish.
Right.
That they have not known me. They are Scottish children.
Sadish.
Children.
They are boozy. Again.
Scottish children.
Drunk. Again.
Scottish children.
Blind.
Scottish children.
Gassed.
Scottish children.
Impaired.
Scottish children.
Inebriated.
Scottish children.
That's what we are. These are all definitions of the word Sadish. That's what we are. This is how we move around. We are a blind nation of people. People that don't know where we're going. The Bible, what did Christ say? If the blind lead the blind, they both shall end in the ditch. Paraphrase. Out. Hosanna Christ. The what, man? But you know, that's how we are moving around. We're moving like a Sadish children, a Sadish nation of people that's drunk and that's blind. Let me see. And the only way for us to wake up out of this state is for us to come back to our true culture and find ourselves. There's so many sayings and wise sayings from these people in the world. I'm watching this sister, so-called wise saying. I'm being sarcastic when I say that. Sister Janelle Monáe, she had an interview and she was saying how before, when she first came out, she grew up in the church. She didn't want to do certain moves in her career. Now she's running around with her top off, wearing, twerking on a table with a bikini. She says she's free now. Right. She's free. She doesn't worry about what other people think. She can do what she wants to now. But our people are so simple-minded. They think that it sounds so wise and so great. When she says, on my journey to myself, I find myself. She sounds like Erykah Badu Jr., you know what I mean? She sounds like another version of her 2.0. But in our mind, people think that she's so wise and so great. But in reality, she is just saying these things to make money. She doesn't need to be free. Being free doesn't mean getting naked in front of a million people. Right. How is that making you free? Would you do it for free? And let's see if that. Let's see her do that for free. Right. If that makes her free, then everybody should just walk down the street and not care what anybody thinks and be naked down the street. That doesn't help you. Right. She's doing this to make money. In your mind, you're like, yeah, she is wise and all-knowing. But this knowledge that she has is not of the Lord. It's of the world. It's ignorance. It's foolishness in the Lord's mind. And that's why we're living this way. Keep going.
Mm-hmm. They are wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge.
Exactly. Once again, that's exactly what that sister was, man. She's wise to do evil, but to do good, she has no knowledge. Let me see. You got anything you want to add on that too? Let me see if I can find a little bit of this clips too.
Sir. But that's pretty heavy because you know that we've been programmed to think that operating in those type of ways where money is everything.
Right.
It's not about respect and dignity anymore. It's not even about making sure you leave the children with smart information.
Right.
Now it's about I'm gonna get rich, trying, and if that means I'm poisoning everybody else, who cares? Because I want to get rich.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's totally against the law.
Damn right. Let me see if I can get anything of this ridiculousness this broad is saying, and that you stupid females listen to women like this,
Right.
and you end up with your life being destroyed. Let me see if she says anything dumb right here real quick. Okay. I'm gonna add it to this.
Now Monet is with us. Welcome.
Yay. Thank you so much for having me.
How you doing?
Amazing, excited, just really, really feeling great. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm very excited about this. I got, we listened to the album. The album is out now.
Anybody was going to come in and stop us from having fun, experiencing that Black joy. I said I want to create music for us, by us, and I wanted the music to be able to work at all of the parties that we had. So what I would do is, this is just a little bit about the process of making it. I would the world to sort of get a deeper look into who I was and my identity. I think with this project, it's not about a fight, though. It's not. I'm not thinking about. We'll never live in a world where we're going to be free of oppressive forces, always trying to stop us from having our freedom and from having our version, whatever that looks like, of the American dream. And so I wanted to just make this known that even in the midst of the heaviness, it's important to find your joy, find your pleasure, and create your beauty.
All right. Once again, we'll go ahead and knock this off, though. But next time I have it queued up a little bit better to some of the things that she was saying. But even there, you're getting a little bit of it. She said to be free, to have pleasure, all of these things. It sounds nice, but she's on a promo run. That's what people don't understand as well. Like, what is a promo run? You don't see these people for 2 years. They come out with an album, they got 10 interviews all of a sudden. She's promoting her album. She's sounding wise. She sounds like she cares about Black people. She sounds like she loves Black women. She sounds so great. She's wise and to do evil. What is are you familiar with one of the things that the Church of Satan says as far as they rules? A brother was talking to him the other day, a trooper. He was saying that when he was in the penitentiary, one of the cats told him that you should study your enemies. And so he was studying what the Church of Satan believes. And I remember Kanye West had said that in a song before too. And I thought Kanye West was tripping on that Illuminati stuff. He might have been, who knows? But he said you can learn from God, but you can learn a lot from Satan. Right. And how I'm taking it as the same thing that brother was saying is to study your enemies. If you know the things that they say, you can really see who your oppressor is, and you can really get an understanding of how they're moving and why it's so evil. So you familiar with one of their laws? All right. I think they only have one law. And Jay-Z was seen wearing this shirt one time. I believe it's called "Do as Thou Wilt." That's the law. Do whatever you want to do. Now, why is that evil in comparison to being someone that follows the Most High God?
If I may, it's because they have no law. They don't have a law to follow.
Right.
So it ain't no morals. It ain't no nothing. It's just If that's the case, you're saying molest kids is okay.
Right.
You know what I mean? Kill people is okay.
Right.
That's how you feel.
Right.
And it's just not cohesive to a nation to grow.
Damn right. It's not cohesive for our nation to grow. It's cohesive for these oppressors to grow because they do what they want, they get away with it. But we do what we want, we're going to be destroyed. We're wise to do evil. A brother can tell you how to cook crack. A brother can tell you how to rob somebody, how to get away with a murder, how to do a credit card scam, all these things. Sisters can tell you how to lace a brother's drink and rob him. They have wisdom on how to do evil, but to do good, we don't know how to do it. And that's because we've been taught by our oppressor to do what we want to do. But the Lord didn't tell us to do that. And that's how you know it's the opposite of the Bible. And it's opposite of what the Lord is teaching. Because if the Lord has all of these laws, statutes, and commandments, he's telling you, in order for you to be righteous, you need to do this. It's 613 laws, approximately. In the oppressor's way, he's saying, don't follow any rules.
Right.
It's completely opposite. So you know that this has to be of the Lord because there's structure here, there's order here. The people that follow Satan, they don't want order, they want chaos. All right. Is there anything else on that verse?
No, that's it, sir.
All right. Read it one more time.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
For my people is foolish.
Right.
They have not known me. They are Scottish children.
Yeah. Sod.
Scottish.
What else? Yeah.
Scottish children. So
No sweat.
And they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge.
Right. They don't have any knowledge of this. And this is another sign of why we keep going in this vicious cycle. We hear the prophets come out, we hear the priests come out and try to teach the people, and our people don't want to hear this. If we told them on the podium that we had a way to open up a marijuana business, we had a way to do a legal scam or however, make quick money, they would come and take our car, they would come to our classes. But we're telling them how to fix our nation and not the easy way, but building up our own nation, they don't want to hear it. Give me Job chapter 15, verse 16.
The book of Job, chapter 15, verse 16. How much more abominable and filthy is man, which drinketh iniquity like water.
Right. How much more abominable is man? Like, we're like an abomination to the Lord. We have become an abomination in his sight because we're drinking sin like water. We're drinking iniquity like water. You know how it is to go run or work out. Imagine how you are after you work out and it's, bottles of water right there. Imagine how brothers were at a Hebrew Academy, how they were going and running up early in the morning, hitting laps, doing push-ups, dropping. How was it to run and get a bottle of water, right? And don't give them too much on, don't expose what goes down. But how is it when you're working out hard and you sweat, you tired, you get that bottle of water? How you feel?
It's glorious. It's like a feeling of rejuvenation.
Right.
You know what I mean? It just gives you that,
You know what I'm saying? Now read that verse again. Was I in Christ?
The book of Job, chapter 15, verse 16. How much more abominable and filthy is man, which drinketh iniquity like water.
Man, now that feeling. You see what I'm saying? You feel good. You know what I mean? Relieve you, alive again. It rejuvenates you. That's how we are in the rap music industry. You know what I mean? Like, we glorify saying like, oh, I can't wait to do that. You a little kid, you listening, especially now, I can imagine these cats listen to this drill music. They can't wait to catch a body. They can't wait to kill a nigga. They like, man, I can't wait till the day I get to go out and kill a nigga. First time you get a gun, you got it in your hand. You at the house like, man, I wish a nigga would say something. You walking down the street, the gun talking to you. Some brothers got it. I didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? that gun do get to talking to you. That gun got a voice, man. If you ain't able to battle no demons and nothing like that, and you ain't in the truth, I advise you not to have a pistol. You know what I'm saying? Because you be like, damn, could go just kill this nigga. This nigga said that to me that day. Matter of fact, I remember when that nigga did that in 8th grade. You might try to find a reason to go and kill a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Kill one of your brothers because you drinking this sin like water. You think it's gonna refresh you. You're gonna get a reputation. You're gonna get more women. They say killers is getting women. You got the reputation of a killer in the hood, and sisters gonna flock to you. You think you get the reputation of a D-boy. You know what I'm saying? You can get hell if you need to. You get the reputation of a D-boy, you're gonna have more women. All of these things, man, we run to this sin, we run to this iniquity like it's a water, and that's a sad way to live. That's a disgusting way to live, and that's why it says that we are filthy. You understand? I'll go ahead and read verse 17. I will show thee, hear me, and that which I have seen I will declare, which wise men have told from their fathers and have not hid it. Like the wise men have listened to what the Lord is telling us.
That's right.
That's why the Bible says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. It's a very important thing to fear the Most High and take heed to the what the Most High is telling us to do. Because if you're not wise, you can have all the knowledge in the world, but wisdom is applying that knowledge. There's some people, it's better to be, I just had that precept. Let me see if I can find it. I believe the Bible says it's better to be simple-minded and obey the Lord than to have a lot of knowledge or to have a lot of power, something to that effect. I believe it's in the Apocrypha. But if you want to add something while I find it, let's see.
And you know what, sir? And what's heavy about 16 is like, you know, iniquity is sin.
Mm-hmm.
So we are so, you know, attracted to sin that, like the scripture says, we drink it like it's water, man.
Right.
Like we so used to it, we don't even know what it is no more.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like growing up as a kid, you know what don't do this, don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
This is bad. But now it's like to kill a person ain't bad. You know what I mean? Even the laws,
you know what I mean?
The way they create the laws, it makes it seem like it's okay.
Right.
They kill black brothers every day, and that's an old person, but even our people, we kill each other so much every day and try to make an excuse as to why you do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? You out here selling drugs to your people, and you make the excuse that it's okay to do it because you need the money.
Right.
You know, it's just like you don't even see what's wrong no more.
Damn, get up in the head, man. And what you're saying is so heavy, that makes me think about a saying they have about fish and animals in the sea. Do the fish know that they're in water?
Right.
Or is it in their mind, it's just like how we breathe air? We just breathe air. We walking in our environment and we breathe air. They swimming in the water. They in the water. They breathe through the water. They don't know they're in the water. This is just life to them. And that's what you're saying. That's us. That water for us is the sin. It's the ghetto. It's the poverty. It's the gunshots. It's you 4 years old, you know how to get down if you hear gunshots. Grandma, everybody tell you, get down on the floor, man. They shooting outside. That's how we came up. You know what I mean? You bring a Edomite kid over your house, they don't know what's going on. Right. Fireworks, you're going outside. Right. You know what I mean? Like they think it's fun. You know, you're learning these things because we grow up in this environment and it's normal. It's normal to make fun of crackheads. It's normal to joke and talk crazy to them. You know what I mean? And just make fun of bums as you growing up because that's the environment that you see. Streetwalkers, women that's selling their body. You see these things and it becomes normal and it becomes the water that we live in. So that's even heavy to that. I add that on to the breakdown. Like we drink iniquity like water. We live in the sin like a fish in the water. How they say a fish goes to water. That's how we are with sin. We're diving into it and wanting more of it, when in reality, that's the trap that our oppressor set up for us, to push us into that. And the key to doing that is removing this Bible from us, removing our identity. We've become a lost race, and so we lost our goddamn minds. We lost our spirit. We lost our families. We lost everything that is right and good, and have gained nothing in this place. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's get Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 1. Book of Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 1. Yeah, I can't find that one. Let me see if I can look it up a little bit too.
The book of Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 1. The sin of Judah is written with a pen of iron, and with the point of a diamond. It is graven upon the table of their heart, and upon the horns of your altars.
Right. The sin of Judah is written with an iron tip, an iron pen. One more time.
The book of Jeremiah, verse 17 and 1. The sins of Judah is written with a pen of iron, and the point of a diamond.
Damn. Well, the diamond is known as the hardest substance on earth.
Right.
You know what I mean? That is, it's solid on us, man.
Right.
The sin that's in the children of Israel is etched with an iron pen. You know what I mean? And that's how we've glorified this culture. Man, I always think of that movie Scarface. You come to somebody's house, they got Scarface on the picture. You remember when Scarface was big in the 80s, but that was before we came around. But somehow like 2003, 2000, somewhere in between, Scarface was big again. Niggas went back and started watching it like, damn, this movie go. And you see brothers got the picture in the house. They got this glorifying that movie. But they just said that movie did so much damage to our community because everyone wanted to be a drug dealer after seeing Scarface. Forget the ending of the movie, that he dies and that's it. I want that life in between where it was good for him, coming from nothing and having something. And that movie was like a big commercial to recruit drug dealers.
Right.
And that's how your oppressor is. He's like, man, we need more. We got all this coke we sending into the ghettos from the CIA. How are we going to get these brothers to sell it? It's just wait, Khaled. Just wait a little bit. We'll get you some. Get more chips. We got some more chips till now. You know what I mean? It was like you had something to say. It was like a commercial though for recruit. Like how they have that? Join the army, be all you can be. Exactly. That's what Scarface was for drug dealers. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, sir. That's funny because movies have had an impact on how Black Hispanics and Natives has been reacting in the community over years.
Right.
Scarface is one, early off, and then New Jersey Drive. Mm-hmm. When that movie came out,
right,
brothers was stealing cars.
Damn.
They was doing it mega.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like we are so lost that we even turn to the movies to try to figure out who we should be.
Right. It's the same way. Yeah. Like you said, these are fictitious characters. At least Mac Dre was a real person. And he's a character as well because he's put on a role. That's one thing I do agree with Charleston White. That brother said these rappers are characters. That's what they do. They're a bunch of characters. They put on this front and they act a certain way. But in some way, shape, or form, these rappers are real human beings. We have been destroyed so much that we look up to fictitious characters in a movie. Another one was Nino Brown in New Jack City. All of that. That was a big one for brothers. They want to be Nino Brown. They want to be the cat hanging out the car, selling crack cocaine, taking over the Carter, kicking black people out of their homes and putting shotguns to the heads of an old black man that's trying to be the landlord of a building. That's what we look up to and aspire to be. And who puts the money to produce this music? Who puts the money to produce these movies? The so-called Jewish man, Amalek. That's everything that Kanye West was saying, that these people have good families. And that's one of the key things I remember Kanye West saying is that I don't hate you people. I'm jealous of you people. And he's using his words specifically. And the reason why he was saying it was allowing him to show the hypocrisy of them, that they don't sleep with other men's wives. Right. I remember him saying, he said, our people, they push that in our culture to sleep with another man's wife, but they don't do that. They don't sell drugs to each other. They don't prostitute their women. Why is that?
Because they know that if they do it, it would destroy their community.
Okay, but even simpler, the so-called Jewish community is not destroyed like us because they do what?
They try to follow the law.
Damn right. You understand what I'm saying? But we know it's a hoax on one side that they do all manner of evil, but they use our law to the extent that it builds up their nation. Right. It shows you how powerful our law is. Right. They can follow our law halfway, still eat pork, still do all these things on the low and abuse us as a nation. But one thing they know is that they treat each other with brotherhood for sure. Right. In order for them to gain power, they say it's us versus them. I can't give my brother a loan and charge him interest, but I can F over this whole black man's career. They look at us like a heathen. They look at us like the Gentiles. They say it in their bastard way of speaking Hebrew, the Goyim. They call us the Goyim or the Goy, the nations, the heathens. And they able to rip off you, rip off every rapper, singer, actor since the beginning of time, because they look at life as it's us versus them, when in reality we're supposed to do that. So imagine us genuinely following the law and genuinely being the Lord's chosen people, how much greater we would be than them. Everyone, the Amalek community or the small hats, I say that hopefully, don't get knocked off with a lot for talking about these heathens. But they are known for being the people that run the world. Right. That's a well-known concept about them. And it's clearly because they've taken our book and our culture. So we would have that same stereotype. Right. Our stereotype is being criminals, drug dealers, and robbers. If we follow the law, our stereotype would be these niggas run the world. It's a conspiracy how well these niggas run the planet Earth. It's got to be something up, because ain't no way they could be in control of every industry like they are. But it wouldn't be a conspiracy with us, because we would tell them the full truth. We're in charge because of our God. We're in charge because we're better than you. The so-called Jewish people won't read the book of Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Go ahead and read that one. We're going to pull that one out. Right, sis. Shalom. Most High Christ. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. We get that one, and we get 6 and 4. We'll move on forward.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. Mm-hmm. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all the people, all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Right. So we would come out and say, the reason why we run on the industry ain't no conspiracy theory. I put my nigga on because that's my nigga. Right. I hired him first. I want him to run this industry. It is us working together, because the Lord wants us to be above all people. They don't have the courage to come out and say that, but that's how they're moving behind closed doors. Right. We black, we Latino, we tell them, yeah, we the flyest niggas on planet Earth. We're going to run the NFL. We're going to run the NBA. We're going to run everything because the Lord made us great and we deserve it. That's why we are who we are. And that's why you're in the position that you're in. Read verse 8. Verse 7. Verse 7. Salaki, we skipped a verse.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 7. The Lord did not send his love upon you, nor chose you, because ye were more in numbers, because ye were more in number than any people. For ye were the fewest of all people.
Right. And how great and glorious is that? This makes me think about what happened with these purple pigs. How great and glorious is that the Lord chose us not because we were the majority, because we were the most, but he chose us because we were the least. Why is that great and glorious? I really want a precept too to go with it, but he chose us to be the least of all because it making us great over everyone allows what to be known?
It allows his power to be shown.
Damn right. Explain a little bit more. That's exactly what I want.
Because you can take something, you can take the smallest of something,
right?
And it's like
go ahead.
Maybe the
minority word, or what you?
Not the metaphor, but you said the precept. Maybe the one with the fish.
Right.
He took such a small fish and fed the whole. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because if you take some, if you take a small, like so, let's say you give everybody $1 million,
right,
and then you give me $150. Now that's small, but if to prove myself, take that 150 and make more than everybody who got it.
Make 50 million. They end up going broke.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's and then I show you, well, this brother here good with making the money that way.
Right.
This brother good with that. So that showed the people that the Lord took that small nation and did something so powerful with them and so what with them, so they had know and never to turn away from his power.
Right. Damn right. That's heavy what you're saying, huh? And even to say that, even push the point home a little bit more, I'll say it like this. Like, you know how you hear about all those, you want to go on a dinner with Jay-Z, or you want to go take the $10 million, $100,000 check, $500,000, and everybody says, I'm going to go with Jay-Z to eat with him, right? So imagine somebody saying this, and they selling, they say, you know what? The things and the knowledge I have to teach you is so great. I'm going to give this person $1 million cash. And I'm not going to talk to them. I'm not going to tell them nothing. We'll see where they're at the end of the year. And I'm going to get this other brother over here, like you said, $100. And I guarantee you, when I'm done with him, he's going to have more money than that millionaire. Who is to get the credit? The person that gave that $100 to the brother. You realize that he knows something. He is the one that has that power. And that's what the Lord is saying. And the precept for that is in it's two precepts. You can go to the one in Exodus or the one in let's just go to what's that? Romans 9th chapter. I like the one in Exodus 2 though. I think it's Exodus 16. Let me see real quick. Yeah, it says if you go down to like that verse 15 somewhere in there, it'll say about Pharaoh in Egypt. 17, okay.
I think it's verse 17, son.
Go ahead.
The book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 17. For the scripture said unto Pharaoh, for the scripture said unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my people in thee.
My power in thee.
My power in thee.
Right.
So, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth.
Right. The Lord allowed the Egyptians to get all this power, all this wealth, all of this majesty and gloriousness, and build up this army in order that the Lord can show his power in thee. I let you get all this so I can show you how powerful I am. You know what that makes me think of? That makes me think of men like Pablo Escobar, like El Chapo, like to the oppressor. It's like a trophy. It's like that buck that they have on their wall, that big head of that big deer. They got the biggest deer head because he was the strongest deer in the forest. They want to kill him. They want to get him. He's the fastest deer. He can run the fastest. He dominated everybody in the forest. I want his head on my wall because it shows how powerful I am.
Right.
They want Pablo Escobar to become the first billionaire drug dealer, and then they lock him up or they kill him. They put El Chapo in chains and put him in a little box. And it just shows you that there's no way of escaping the power of this oppressor. That's what you would think, and that's what you would fear. Is like certain cats, they be like, yeah, ain't no way I can make it as a D-boy, because everybody that I know that ever did it, they end up going down. Why even try and do that? And that's how the Lord is going to have it. And that's when our King returns and he comes and destroys this place that everyone thinks is impossible to be destroyed, that has all powerful, all knowing, all wise. When our King comes and destroys this place in 1 hour, then people will say, okay, we're not messing with him. Why even try to fight against somebody that's that powerful? Right. That's how it's going to be. And that's why I love that precept. You know, Karak always pulls that precept where it talks about in that day we will no longer talk about Egypt anymore, how we came out of Egypt, because how he delivers us out of this place, it'll be that much more greater.
That's right.
Like we being in this place today, or being Israelites throughout the Bible always says, I am the Lord your God that took you out of Egypt, out of the land of Egypt. I'm the one that delivered you out of the hands of Pharaoh, because that's what our claim to fame was. But in that day, people won't even talk about that no more. Right. Like something, what's something that was big that's not big anymore? What's something that was popping is not popping anymore? I may be out of the loop. I mean, Summer Jam is still popping to these kids. It ain't like how it was when we was.
No. Not at all.
It ain't, because they got all these other festivals now. They got this Smoking Loud and all that. Like, it ain't what it used to be. It's like people don't talk about it no more.
Right.
Summer Jam used to be the thing. Now it's like whatever. That's like it's gonna be coming out of Egypt. It's like, man, they got these other festivals that's going way better, doing way more. I'd rather go to that. I don't care about no damn summer. I mean, care about coming out of Egypt. That was a slight work.
Right.
You see how they took down the nuclear bombs of the United States government. You see how the Lord sent 200 million angels. Like they just crossed the Red Sea. We're gonna have the sun blotted out with chariots. Black men, Latino men hopping off the chariots, putting people to death, man, and putting the whole world under our King's footstool. That's something glorious to see and witness, man. I pray, you know what I'm saying, I can be allowed to see it or be reborn into the kingdom after this happens, you know what I mean?
Right.
But that, man, you got something out?
No, that's just heavy service. You wrapped it up with that one.
No sweat. All right, let's go to Isaiah 30. Where we at? Let's keep going. Salaki.
We're at the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 17.
Oh, let's go back to Deuteronomy 7 and verse 8. You can finish verse 7 and say, for ye were the fewest of all people.
For ye were the fewest of all people.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 8. But because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers,
right,
hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand,
right,
and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
Right. You see once again how it's always going back to that's the Lord that redeemed us out of the king of Egypt's hands. That was something that was great and something that should be remembered. He said, because the Most High loved us. Keep going.
Verse 9. Know, therefore, that the Lord thy God, he is God, the faithful God, which keepeth covenants and mercy with them that love him, and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations.
Right. And the Lord is honorable. He's going to keep his word and saying he's going to do what he's going to do for 1,000 generations. Keep going.
Found out on count. Verse 10. And repay it them that hate him to their face.
Damn. That sounds like some gangster. Yeah. I'm going to come see you. I'm going to be right in your face. You ones that hate me, the Lord said he's going to come deal with you to your face.
Right.
Keep going.
Found out on count. To destroy them.
To do what?
To destroy them.
So the same thing is the two-edged sword. It can be cut to save your life, or it can cut to take your life. Hey, Kalea, keep that down. What you doing? Salaki. You know what I mean? That is a two-edged sword. And the Lord is saying in that day, he's gonna come through and destroy them. And that's what we are. We destroy. He stayed true to his word in that. Keep going.
He will not be slack to him that hated him. He will repay him to his face.
Right. Verse 11.
Verse 11. Thou shalt therefore keep the commandments and the statutes and the judgments which I command thee this day to do them.
Right. So once again, he's not telling you do what you want to do. Ain't no rules out here. Get it how you live. That's the nigga version of do as thou wilt. That's our translation of that same statement. Is get it how you live. That's what we used to say in the world. Brothers, I first place I heard it was cats from New Orleans used to say that a lot. That's they think, man, get it how you live. Meaning do whatever you need to do to get it. But that's a horrible way to look at life and to live life. Because you getting it how you live means you don't give a damn how this person is living.
Right.
You don't give a damn about their life. You will sell crack to your mother. You got to get it how you live.
Right.
You will backstab your own brother and family members to come up to get it how you live.
Right.
Well, the Bible doesn't say get it how you live. The Bible says get it how the Lord tells you to live.
Exactly.
Do what the Lord says to do. Obey the Lord's law, statutes, and commandments. All right, let's go to Jeremiah 16:14.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, verse 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, said the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt.
Right. That's not what's going to be said no more. That's not going to be our claim to fame. That's not how people are going to recognize and know us. That's not what's going to be said about us. You can go ahead and read verse 15.
Verse 15. But the Lord liveth.
Right. The Lord is still alive. We're not going to say the Lord is dead because we're not bringing this up no more. It ain't like the Lord has been conquered. That's not what it's saying. Keep going.
That brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north.
From where?
From the land of the north.
Now that's North America. That's bringing the children of Israel out of this hell that we're living here in this place. And that's going to be the claim to fame of the children of Israel. That's how we're going to be known in the world. The children of Israel were brought out of this place, the place that Afghanistan couldn't defeat, that Iraq couldn't defeat, that the Chinese couldn't destroy, that the Russians couldn't destroy, that the British couldn't, the Germans, the Japanese, no one could come up against America and destroy America and defeat America. Everyone had to get down or lay down. That's what's been known as, that's what America's been known for, right? But now, when the Lord delivers us from their hands, people are going to say, God damn, these niggas, the niggas that would get shot down in the street, the ones that were in the ghetto that we used to look down upon, even the lowest of the low, like goddamn Hamites, thinking Africans, man, they look down on us with bones in their mouth.
Right.
They look down on us and they people cannibals.
Right.
They look down on us when they live in dirt roads and mud huts, but they're like, at least I not kata.
Right.
not a cotton-fitted nigga.
Right.
I know my name. They got that. They got pride in that. I know my culture. I'm better than you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the audacity. I don't get that, how these heathens come here. They really be in denial.
Right.
They come here and they get education. Yeah, you're right. A lot of Nigerians come to America and they go to college and they become doctors and lawyers, but they're acting like everybody in Nigeria is living like that. Hell no, man. They're not living like that over there. They're living in a third world country. They living in poverty. They living on dirt roads and all that. And they still in their mind are superior to us because they know they were not slaves.
Right.
And so they still feel better and more confident in us. But in reality, man, those niggas that they look down upon, they're going to say, yeah, the Lord chose them.
Right.
Because he used them and allowed them to be put over the greatest nation. The people that you know how General Muhammad say, the Nigerians that come here and look down on you and blow the rod of any oppressor.
Right.
They'll do anything to be in with them. They'll get down on their knees and suck it for the goddamn white man.
Right.
In order to be in his house, in order to be accepted by him. They'll do anything that he says. They like, damn, the niggas that were at the bottom, they the ones in charge now. We should have been trying to get with them. We should have been trying to get underneath them instead of chasing this oppressor. Now he at the bottom. Now he don't even exist.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's how we're gonna be known. Anything else on that? I think it's a little more. Yep.
From the land of the north, and from all the land whither he have driven them.
Right. So that shows that the children of Israel are spread out to the four corners of the earth. Keep going.
And I will bring them again unto their land that I gave unto their fathers.
Right. Keep going.
Verse 16. Behold, I will send for many fishers, said the Lord, and they shall fish them.
Right. So at one point in time, the Lord, like I said, this is what we're doing. And this reminds me of Kamama's camp speakers. Their brother is always saying that we're not going to be out here all the time. Right. It's going to be a time where y'all going to look for us and we're not going to be here. Right. You're going to wish you could find the priests and prophets of the Lord, but we're not going to be here. So this is that time that people should take heed and appreciate the things that we do, the sacrifices that we give to go out and teach our people. You know, we're fishing for men. This is what we're doing. Keep going.
And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain, and from every hill, and out of the holes of the rocks.
Right. So the Lord's going to send the children of Israel in spirit, you know, with the angels, and that's what's going to happen. It's going to change to now these cats ain't so meek and humble no more. Right. And they wonder how us yelling and lifting up our voice like a trumpet, they wonder how that's humble. You know why it's humble? Because we don't teach these niggas to go and pick up AK-47s.
Right.
We don't do that. That's humble. That's meek. That's lowly. Because if we was prideful and we was arrogant, you know, the general would have sent somebody to them to purple pigs.
Exactly.
The general would have sent somebody to see them about that. We humble, man. All right, this is how you move. Okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to teach these classes. We're going to go to war in the spirit. Because we see the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. We're not going to carnal. We will protect and defend ourselves. We're not going to go to war with y'all on that level. We're not going to go to war with America on that level. We're going to let the Lord do that. The Lord is going to send hunters, and them hunters going to make light work of this place.
That's right.
And light work of our enemies.
Right.
You know, whoever they may be, Israel or not Israel. I mean, but I pray those brothers that's being led astray can learn to change. I ain't gonna say come up in here. Hopefully they can learn to change and follow us in spirit on the goddamn online. Keep your purple ass at the online. You can pay your tithes online. You can be a student. You know what I mean? But it'd be a hard press. Now I ain't gonna say. I know. I'm pretty sure it's some brothers. It was one brother online you saw in class last week. Most High in Christ for him, man. He had a righteous spirit to come into the truth. So maybe it's some of them, but majority, y'all can just stay online and watch us.
Right.
You know what I mean? But come up out of that madness underneath nasty Nate.
Right.
Salaki. All right. Let's drop that. Let's get Isaiah 30:1. This is our problem right here.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, said the Lord, that taketh counsel, but not of me.
Right. We listen to everybody else but the Lord. That's that wise to do evil, but have no knowledge to do good. That's the same thing. You getting counsel from this broad, Janelle Monáe, who was just standing on the table twerking in a bikini at the Met Gala. Have you seen that? I don't know if I'll show that in class. But it just looks ridiculous for this woman. For one, ain't no age limit on hoeing. I ain't gonna say that, man. Like, I don't want it to get seen wrong. Like, if you young, you could be a hoe, because that's the mentality that they push on some of our sisters. You got a whole phase, and you going through a whole phase, and then you get older and grow out of it. But goddamn, man, she too old to be a hoe too.
Right.
How old is this sister, man? Let me look her up real quick. Janelle Monáe. She 37 years old. She's gonna be 38 in December.
She's 40.
40. Dancing on a table in her bikini, looked like she was high off of cocaine. And she's gonna convince you that she's free and that she's doing good and that she's doing better. And in your simple mind, you're gonna believe her and think that she's right because she has money.
Right.
That's the reason why she's right. We're wrong for us to tell our sisters to put some clothes on their goddamn behind, and for tell our people to stop eating pork and stop celebrating Christmas. We're wrong because you're a broke nigga. That's their reasoning for why we're wrong. And she's right because she has money and we're just a bunch of haters. But the reality is the sister is lost, and you're listening to her is making us more destroyed.
Right.
So read it again from the top.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, said the Lord,
right,
that take counsel, but not of me.
Right. Not only do we take counsel of these false leaders, these rappers, these singers, these actors, etc., these drug dealers, etc., we take counsel of these other nations, which is where all of those things come from. All those things that we're doing wrong that our people are teaching, in reality, come from the oppressor.
Right.
You go look into that satanic culture and look up interviews. I might do a class on that one, man. There's an interview of the guy that started the Church of Satan in San Francisco. His name was Anton LaVey. He started it, I believe, in 1969 or 1966. One of those years. He started it right in the city. It's interesting how evil San Francisco has become and the things that they push in San Francisco. And it just so happens to be the foundation of the Church of Satan. That's interesting too. Like, what do they call San Francisco as far as comparing it to other cities? Have you heard? It's of the West Coast. It's the New York of the West Coast. You say you haven't been to New York yet. Lord Allah, I think they say we are. I'm not sure where we're gonna have. I ain't gonna say we got that information, but if we do go back to New York one of these days, or you ever get to visit New York City, you will see that it's similar to San Francisco. Right. You go to LA, and LA is built different than the city out here. LA spread out, wide. They got the hills, all that too in the background. But as far as that downtown, the way San Francisco is built up is like downtown New York in a lot of ways. The hustle and bustle, the fast, the tightness of the streets and everything. That's how New York City is. But long story short, I'm just saying it's interesting and ironic that the truth came out of Harlem, New York, and the Church of Satan came out of San Francisco. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's the opposite, always the opposite. You know what I mean? This is how it is in the spirit world. They gonna build the truth for niggas over here in New York, and hell and Satan gonna come out here for Edomites in San Francisco. You know what I mean? Well, go ahead.
So, like, sir, it was you were right. It was in 1966.
Yeah, that's some other thing too, because it's kind of like 666 too. You know, they weird with that all that stuff. But going back to the point was the interviews of his daughter. I think her name is something with a Z, Zena LeVay, something like that, right? And in those interviews, she's explaining how in the 90s they're going to push Satanism in the music industry. They're going to push it in mainstream culture. So it's going to come a point where the children are going to follow Satanism and not even know they're following it. And they were saying all that. So once you understand the mentality of them, you can start to see it and realize this is what's going on. So that's what I'm saying. That's just a Janelle Monáe. Whether she is actually in the Church of Satan and worships Satan openly, or she's just been brainwashed by these influences of these people that she doesn't know that are telling her to say these things, and she's still doing the work either way. So that's how our people are. We get counsel of them, the people of the world. Keep going.
And that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin.
Right, a covering. That's like protection. That's our protection. We look for our protection, and we think it's going to protect us. Getting education, getting your money up, whatever that is, that's what's going to cover us. That's what's going to make us free. But it's not a covering that the Lord has put on us. That ain't the jacket that we got. You can go buy one of these jackets, what they call a bomber jacket, but if it ain't got the stamp on the back, even if it did have the stamp on the back, right, you could go and copy the stamp and get it printed out from the same person. It's not the same cover as a cover that a brother got here going through Hebrew Academy.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? That's not the same thing. Right. It's who gave it to you, how you got it, how you earned it. That's the covering we need of the Lord. So read that part again from there a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin.
Right. So not only are we disobeying the Lord, but then we're listening to these other heathens in our disobedience. And so it's like we're adding sin to sin. Not only will go and kill a nigga, that's wrong. Let's make a song about it.
Right.
Let's brag about smoking on Tuka. Let's add sin to the sin. You're not only gonna, be a flaming homosexual, you're gonna go and do a drag concert in front of children and try to make them homosexual. Like, you're adding sin to sin. You're making it worse than what it already is to do something wrong. You glorifying it. You're making it seem great when it's really something that's vile. Keep going.
Verse 2. That walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
Like, you getting behind Pharaoh. You in the shadow of Egypt. You in the shadow of America. You want to be in the military because I'm going to give me a charger. I'm going to get some benefits. You want to run for these NFL owners. You want to do anything to get in the shadow and the protection behind these Egyptians. Like, we walked down into Egypt. The Lord delivered us out of Egypt. You like trying to go back into Egypt. What type of sickness is that? That's how we are. I remember we were talking about the Black Panthers in the 70s, and they were saying that they did not a study, but a survey. And they surveyed Black Americans at the time, and they found out that 10% of Black Americans identified with revolutionaries or identified themselves as revolutionaries. And to the outside, that doesn't seem like a lot. 10% ain't too much. But how many Black people live in America? 40 million people. 10% of 40 million is 4 million people. That's a whole nation of people. If they feel like they're revolutionaries, that means they could have 4 million people that live in America that want to go to war with America. And that's why they said the Black Panthers was a big threat to America. Because you can't have domestic terrorists at that amount of numbers. You can get your crazy white boy over here that want to go blow up a building. You can get a couple lone wolves, they say. You can't have 4 million niggas running around America going to war with America. That's a problem. We got out of captivity, but we didn't think like that. We said, let's go and vote. You got 40 million niggas. We should have had a nigga meeting. They didn't let the GDs in the door. They didn't let the niggas. They didn't let us out of these chains. All niggas were supposed to come together after slavery. They said, we really are, we free? But they destroyed our minds so much we couldn't even think like that on that level. We didn't even think the idea. We just so happy to be free. It's just like a nigga getting out of jail. You understand? Like, you would think that all the brothers in jail that get out would come together and build. They're not hiring us to do construction. Well, maybe the brothers from prison should build a construction company. You know what I'm saying? Or do something together. Like, long story short, what I'm saying is that if all 40 million black people that came together and just said, hey, man, we all went through slavery. They weren't in slavery. We shouldn't be with them no more. You think that would be that simple? Like, it wasn't one nigga, but they had us in the woods separated. They didn't have the communication. We couldn't network and talk to everybody. And the average person back then didn't have a third grade education. So now you got what grade is your son in?
He's going to the second this year.
The second grade. So what age group is that? That's like
so 7, 7, 8.
7, 8. Mashak no more than the average slave did at that time.
Right.
So now imagine 40 million of Mashaks walking around. They would never think that, hey, we should build our own nation. How? Doing what? Right. You don't know what engineering is. Right. You don't know what trigonometry and algebra is. He doesn't know none of that yet. But he knows more than they did. He'd be better off. A nation of him at that age would be better off than a nation of us at that time. And even through all of that, I don't want to say all that is wrong because we still ended up within 40 years developing things like Black Wall Street. That shows how great we are. Like, God damn, even though the majority of us were lacking this way of thinking, a lot of us were still able to come up and figure it out. Like, and hold the piece real quick. Hold, remember your point. Even a story for myself, my family. That's why we got to know our history outside of slavery and pass these stories on. You know, my grandfather came from Arkansas, came to California, joined the military, got out of the military young age, moved to EPA from San Francisco, started his own business, barbecue, ended up getting another barbecue business, ended up buying a nice home in Sunnyvale, San Jose, etc. Like, he came up from nothing, and you know, at a certain point in time, he's in his 50s, and I guess my grandmother had found him studying how to read on a low because he didn't know how to read. I think he stopped school at 6th grade, but he still was able to build 2 businesses and do all these things. And today, you know what I mean? I ended up having to sell that house, but my dad always tell me, like, because I guess they had a pool in the backyard of my older cousin. He was a baby. He fell in the pool. My grandma was like, we sold the house. We're going to go to another house in San Jose. But that house in Sunnyvale today is like probably $3-4 million. You understand what I'm saying? So a nigga from Arkansas with a 6th grade education came to California and was able to do something like that. And that's what they was doing after slavery. So they know in their mind, we cannot teach these niggas anything. We have to put crack in that community to destroy them, because even in that level, but imagine if we had a little bit even more wisdom and the wisdom of this Bible, them brothers would have said, damn America, why would we vote and ask them to help us? We can help ourselves. But go ahead if you can remember your point out.
Sir, that's heavy what you're saying, and that shows you that we were the driving force of their economy.
Right.
Because for us to be able to come out, they say, all right, go.
Right.
And they let us go. And in 40 years, we build what they have.
Right.
We on their level.
Right.
That shows you that without us, they wouldn't have anything.
Damn right. Man, that's everyone said. That is the proof in the pudding. Like, the only reason why y'all have this stuff, America's great, because they had us. What's the precept? All nations shall be blessed. All nations shall be blessed because of thee. I'm paraphrasing that. But the Bible says they always use that to try to say that the children of Israel should love other nations and that we should allow them to come amongst the congregation because the children of Israel are going to bless all these other nations. We bless them by serving underneath them. That's how we bless them. They were blessed because they had us in captivity. Any nation that had us in captivity, it's not a coincidence that they were the top nation at the time.
Right.
When we were in Egypt, who was the top nation? The Egyptians. Right. We was in Babylon, who was the top nation? The Babylonians. Right. When we was under the Romans, who was the top nation? The Romans. Right. They always had us in order to glorify and raise themselves up. It's just like the Mexicans today. America wouldn't be anything without Mexicans. Right. These buildings, everything that we see wouldn't be built without blacks or Latinos, especially the so-called tribe, so-called tribe from Mexico today, the Israelites. Right. But yeah, let's go ahead. We'll close out pretty soon.
Come.
Let's go to Psalms. Let's see, is there anything else in there? We went to verse. Yeah, we'll stop at verse. Let's do verse 3.
Come. The book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 3. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust of the shadow of Egypt your confusion.
Right, like we trust in this nation so much. We look to them so much. We look into a nation that cannot save us. And that's going to be our shame. That's going to be our confusion. Is us looking up to them has caused us to be underneath them. How can you look to another people to lift you up when we competing? Yeah, once you understand that, it's called race for a reason. Right. You in a race against the other races. The Vietnamese is running for the team Vietnam. The Chinese is running for team China. The Nigerians running for team Nigeria. They may come together as a coalition. They say we're gonna run for team Asia. But then once we win that war, then I'm going for Vietnam, you go for China, you go for Korea. Nigga, we are running against them. Ain't nobody in this race is gonna run and you be like, hey, pull me on, pull my arm. Right. Your son do track. Right. What type of race is that? Is hey, your child is saying, hey, pull me up. What are you doing? You need to win. Run faster. Right. Go practice. Go work out. Right. Don't ask him to pull you up, because then what can he do? Even if he does help you, he can let you go too. Right. He can pull you up and say, yeah, I got you. Get to the finish line, push you back, let you go. Right. You understand what I'm saying? No, you got to win that race by yourself. That's how we got to be. We as black people have to run this race with our own team. And that's how we have to win it. So same thing, you know what I mean? It could be a sports, whatever, NBA, making shots. You asking Joker to come and score you a couple baskets. Get us a couple boards. Right. That's ridiculous. That's what voting is. We're asking the people that are trying to destroy us to help us. Right. It makes no sense, man. Read that verse one more time. This is what the Lord is saying in that verse, man.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 3. Therefore, shall the strength of Pharaoh.
Shall the what?
Shall the strength of Pharaoh.
The thing that makes Pharaoh strong.
Shall the strength of Pharaoh.
Right, keep going.
Be your shame.
Be your what?
Your shame.
Think about that. I let that marinate. The strength of them. The thing that makes America great is your shame. That's it. The CIA put tons and thousands of kilos of cocaine in the black community, and it made them strong. What did it do for us? Become our shame. Your auntie on crack. Your mama on crack rock. They made a song about it. Your brother in prison. Your other cousin is dead. The shame of us is the strength of them. It's the only way it can be. The shame of you asking them to help me pull me in this race is the strength of them. I'm so fast, nigga. You asking me for help. You asking me to pull you along because I run that fast, nigga. That's how weak you are. That's a shameful race. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And the trust in the shadow of Egypt, your confusion.
You a bitch ass nigga, Salaki. Salaki for my friends. You trusted in a shadow like you a coward. You behind there like that's like Debo, you know what I mean? You in his shadow because all right, the nigga that keep coming over here, all right, I'm just getting my protection behind Debo. He gonna hold me down. But Debo telling you, shut up, sit down, taking your chain, you know what I'm saying? But at least I'm with him. That's what you look like on 4th of July, man. Let me say this. I'm bringing this out for 4th of July. That's what we look like. That, yeah, America did abuse us. Yeah, he did rape my mama. But at least I ain't in a third world country. At least I'll fight for America because of what's place better than this. You were saying that in your class. That's how the slaves talk. They'd rather be a slave and have an easier life than to be free and have to work to get it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's being in the shadow of this Egyptian. And that's confusion. That's our confusion. All right. We think that we can stick close to America and get strong with America. When in reality, we should be separate from this place, and that's going to be our strength.
Right.
All right. Drop that. Let's go to Psalms 47 in chapter 2. And we ain't gonna hold it too much longer. We've been 1:30, hour 30 minutes. Let's run through these.
The book of Psalms, chapter 47, verse 2. Mm-hmm. For the Lord Most High is terrible. He is a great king over all the earth.
Right. Keep going.
Verse 3. He shall subdue the people under us, and the nations under our feet.
Right. For the Lord, the Most High, is terrible. Sorry. For the Lord Most High is terrible. He is a great king over all the earth. He shall subdue the people under us and the nations under our feet. This is the type of God that we're supposed to be serving. Right. This is what he wanted for us. Our Lord is going to subdue these other nations and put them under our feet like a boot neck. Like when it says in Joshua that they'll have the kings come and put our foot on their necks, man. Hugo.
Verse 4. He shall choose our inheritance for us, the excellency of Jacob, who he loves.
Right. This is who the Most High is dealing with. The excellency, Salakia, of Jacob. Drop down to verse 8.
The book of Psalms, chapter 47, verse 8. God reigneth over the heathen. Mm-hmm. God sitteth upon the throne of his holiness.
Right, so that's the Lord is going to reign over the heathen. And how is the Lord going to do it? Is the Lord going to do it? Is he going to fly down here and sit on the world? He's going to put his people to reign over the heathen. That's who we are. We're supposed to be in charge of the kingdom of heaven. You imagine going to Mars. If Elon Musk makes it there, and he puts down the American flag, that's the kingdom of America on Mars. And he's going to bring the Constitution there. All the rules of this place will be on Mars now. It's the same thing for here. The kingdom of heaven will be in earth. The rules and regulations that the Lord wants will be down here. And that's how the Lord is going to reign on earth. That's how the Lord will reign on earth, is through his chosen people, a nation of kings and priests. Drop that. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 10 and 20.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 20. But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils, and not to God. And I would not that ye should have fellowship with devils.
Right. These Gentiles, these heathens, they sacrifice to devils. Their idol worship. That's what they give sacrifice to. And how would that be today? These people, Beyonce.
Right.
How much is a ticket to go see Beyonce? A couple thousand. You sacrificing to go worship Beyonce.
Right.
That's what you're doing. You giving this money to this idol, and she's doing a work of Satan. She's working for Satan. Not telling any sister you can't go see Beyonce. If you are in the truth, you know what I mean? It's different because you just going for the music. But the average person that are going to see her is really going to worship her and idolize her. And you're sacrificing to devils. That's how it was in those days. The things that they felt like would make them better or feel good. This idol having this statue in my house is going to make me rich. So you sacrifice your money to buy this statue, to get something out of it. And so that is not what the Lord wants for us. He says he wouldn't want us to fellowship with devils. All right, read verse 21.
Verse 21. Mm-hmm. Ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And the cup of devils. Ye cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and of the devil of the table of the devil.
Right, you're gonna have to choose up. You're gonna have to choose a side. Pick a side. You're gonna be with the Lord or you're gonna be with them. Broad is the gate to destruction. You know what I mean? Narrow is the path to righteousness. Paraphrase, like you can pick their table and eat at their table, and that's that. Or you can pick the table of the Lord, but you can't do both. You can't be back and forth. You can't play both sides. You can't be on the fence when it comes to the Most High. And that's why it's so evil. I just learned today in the class with General Hyman that the Purple Pigs basically celebrate Christmas and Halloween and Easter. You saw that in class? They said they go and congregate on the days, the holidays of the evil days. Because there's a place that you need to go when you are feeling down because you can't go have that Thanksgiving ham with Big Mama. So come over to the Purple Fantasy Land and have a turkey ham. They probably, you know what I mean?
Right.
To try to make it righteous. They're going to have something that's, let's have vegan spare ribs. They're going to cook barbecue ribs. They're going to cook vegan shrimp on Christmas to look like they celebrate. You know what I mean? Have vegan gumbo.
Right.
Make it seem like they having the gumbo they would have had if they was in the world, but not. See, we're not celebrating Christmas.
Right.
We are doing our own thing. We congregating against them, but at the same time as them, man. Knock it off, man. Y'all celebrating the holidays with them. Y'all eating at the same table of devils. Go ahead.
It's like it's a precept.
Go ahead.
Precept is Revelation chapter 3, verse 15.
Let's hear it.
I know your works. I know that you are neither cold nor hot.
Right.
I wish you were either cold or hot.
Right, damn right. That's a good one. Is there anything else on that one?
It goes into verse 16.
Yeah.
So lukewarm. Because you are lukewarm,
right,
neither hot nor cold,
right,
I will spit you out of my mouth.
Right. Lord, it is disgusting. Right. Like you want a hot drink or a cold drink.
Right.
Nice ice cold beverage. Even they do that with coffee.
Right.
You either serve it hot or with ice in it. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's an iced coffee, ice mocha, or a hot mocha. Ain't no lukewarm mocha. Nobody wants that mocha that's just been sitting on the table all afternoon. Right. What good is that? It only tastes good when it's really hot or when it's really cold. That's how meals work. You know what I mean? You got a cold cut sandwich or you got a hot sandwich out the oven. Not the one that's been sitting at the table. And that's how it is. These purple cats are lukewarm. Matter of fact, they cold. I'm gonna say that. They almost, that's Antichrist. They cold. Like if you hot for the Lord, that means you're ready to do the work of the Lord. Lukewarm is the people that's in the middle. They cold because they going against the Lord. They really chose a side. You know what I mean? They on the side of the devils. They eating at the table with the devils. You know what I mean? And that, you know, it may sound harsh, but the truth is not made to make you feel good. That's why they say we are the home of the truth, because we're going to tell you the truth. Fake Israelites are scared to tell IUIC the truth. Fake Israelites want to be brothers with everyone because the truth separates you.
Right.
And if you're scared of numbers and you think that you're weaker because you have less numbers, then you want to attach yourself to the numbers. You feel more powerful, like you're doing a big movement because we got a unity camp, because we cool with our UIC, because we cool with this group, we cool with that. Yeah, you teach you can marry a 9-year-old, but shalom, Bob. And yeah, you over here teach that Africans can be saved. I don't believe that, but shalom, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want the brotherhood because you think that that means the Lord is with you. It's the same old thing. You didn't read Deuteronomy? You just read it, that the Lord chose us not because of numbers, because we were fewer in the least. That doesn't make them brothers righteous because they have numbers. All right. Let's see. Let's read verse 22 on that. 1 Corinthians 10 and 22.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 22. Do we provoke the Lord to jealousy? Are we stronger than he?
Well, are we stronger than the Most High God? Like, we're going to provoke the Lord to jealousy when we try to go and follow these other ways.
Right.
Once again. All right, last one, Isaiah 47 and 6. This is going to be, you know, capital. This is one of my other favorite precepts. I always say that. I got 1,000 favorite precepts.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 47, verse 6. Mm-hmm. I was wrath with my people.
Right.
I have polluted my inheritance.
Right.
And given them into thy hand.
Right.
Though thou didst show them no mercy.
Right.
Upon the ancients hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke.
Right. The Lord was angry with us, and he polluted his inheritance. He let us go into these other nations. He let us become slaves of them. But us being slaves under these people here, they didn't show us any mercy. And so it says, upon the ancient, these are the Lord's chosen people, they laid a heavy yoke, a heavy burden. Keep going, verse 7.
Verse 7. Mm-hmm. And thou sayest, I shall be a lady forever. Mm-hmm. So that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it.
Right. So you just saying they're saying they can do all these things to us. They laid this heavy yoke on us. All the deception and lies they use in destroying us became so great. The Lord is like, you didn't think you could be stopped, basically.
Right.
Verse 8.
Verse 8. Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwelleth carelessly, mm-hmm. that saith in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children.
Right. You said in your mind, can't no nation stop me on earth. Russia got nuclear bombs, bring it on. You want to fight with the Taliban, bring it on. We got drones, we got bombs, we got this, we got that. We got money, we got power. America says no one can touch us, but this is going to happen regardless of that. They're saying I will not. Keep going.
Verse 9. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day.
Right.
The loss of children.
Right.
And widowhood.
Right. The things that you said wouldn't happen to you are going to exactly happen to you. The thing that you saying that America is great and the number one nation and God bless America, you're going to find out that God said, damn America. and America won't be great again. That's the things that will happen to you. Keep going.
They shall come upon thee in their perfections for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thy enchantments.
Yeah, I mean, so it's like sorceries and enchantments, like witchcraft, basically, all the evil they've done, right? In verse 10, I think we close it out to it. Yeah.
Verse 10, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me.
Right, that's why they don't want you to have critical race theory. Is when you start exposing the things that America's done, they want to hide it. No one should see this.
Right.
No one should see what we have done, or the things that we have, the evil things that we have done to these people, man, especially the Native Americans. You can find a lot of history about what they did to the so-called Negro, but it ain't too much history or movies or documentaries that show the evil and how much the white man did to our Native American brothers. Right. And that's something that I can only imagine. Keep going.
Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me.
Right, and no one else beside this place. Read verse 11. This is the last one.
Verse 11. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it rises.
Right, like what movie? Okay, that reminds me, not that movie, but the TV show Dave Chappelle. When you remember the Rick James episodes, and Rick James used to be so effed up. God. He was punching Charlie Murphy in the face and slapping him. Right. And then one of the scenes at the end, Charlie Murphy came back and he slapped the hell out of him, or I think he kicked him, whatever it was. Rick James was sitting there crying. He like, why you hit me? Right. He was like, nigga, you hit me. You know what I'm saying? Like he almost shocked that somebody attacked him. Right. That's how America gonna be. They're gonna be surprised at who's rising up against them. Like they don't know where it came from. Why is it even going on? That's how they look at us at camp. They walking with their kids and they're just like, these niggas are hateful. Right. These niggas are evil. Right. These niggas are disgusting of how they're talking about us. Right. But like I said, what's more evil, us talking about the Lord killing you, or you actually killing us for 400 years? Right. Y'all have been so evil. When we talk about your evil, we sound evil. Right. That's how evil the white man is. Right. You're so disgusting and vile. When we talk about what you've done, we sound evil. God damn, man. That's how evil they are. Read that verse again from the top. Verse 11.
Verse 11. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. And mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know.
Oh, Christ, man. That's going to come upon them suddenly and quickly like a thief in the night, and they won't know where it's coming from. We seen it coming a mile away. That's our job, man. So with that, let's close out the class. Let's say Yahweh Shem Yahshai Brakatham. Yahweh Shem Allah Tham Bashim Yahshai. With that, class is dismissed.